ये बुरा लगेगा ना, आप बैठो तो फिर अगर वो आए ना तो फिर ठीक है ना।
1 minute. Assalamu alaikum rahmatullah. Respected Amir Sahib has actually requested if everyone could start to take their seats. We'll be starting the function very shortly. There is a live stream already in play of the event, and inshallah we'll begin imminently. If I can please request Majlis Qadam al-Ahmadiyya and Majlis Ansar al-Sadran to please grace us with their presence on the front stage as soon as possible, please.
Start.
Assalamu alaikum rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Baitul Futuh reconstruction fundraising event this evening at the Beautiful Mosque. We will now start the formal program for the evening, and I would like to request Tahir Khalid Saab to come for the recitation of the Holy Quran and its translation in English.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. مثل الذين ينفقون أموالهم في سبيل الله كمثل حبة أنبتت 7 سنابل كمثل حبة أنبتت 7 سنابل في كل سنبلة 100 حبة والله يضاعف لمن يشاء والله واسع عليم. الذين ينفقون أموالهم في سبيل الله ثم لا يتبعون ما أنفقوا منا ولا أذى لهم أجرهم عند ربهم ولا خوف عليهم ولا هم يحزنون. قول معروف ومغفرة خير من صدقة يتبعها أذى والله غني حليم. The verses just recited before you are from the Holy Quran, chapter 2, verses 262 to 264. The English translation is as follows. I seek refuge with Allah from Satan the accursed. In the name of Allah, the Gracious, the Ever Merciful. The case of those who spend their wealth in the cause of Allah is like that of a grain of corn, which grows 7 ears, and in each ear there are 100 grains. Allah multiplies it even more for whomsoever He pleases. Allah is Lord of vast bounty, all-knowing. Those who spend their wealth in the cause of Allah then follow not up that which they have spent with reproaches or injury, have their reward with their Lord. They shall have no fear, nor shall they grieve. A kind word and forgiveness are better than charity followed by injury. Allah is self-sufficient, forbearing.
Jazakallah. We have a few speakers this evening who will share the information about this inspiring project. And I would first like to welcome Mr. Irfan Ahmed Qureshi Sahib to give the introduction and a presentation about the project. Irfan Qureshi Sahib.
Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. In the name of Allah, the most gracious, the ever merciful, we are extremely delighted to welcome you all this evening. We hope and pray that this evening turns into a night that we all can remember and is written in the annals of history that the UK Jamaat has yet again responded to the call of Hazrat Khalifatul Masih towards rebuilding this complex as part of this redevelopment project. We will now be showing a presentation. Jazakallah.
The Ahmadiyya community in the UK built their first mosque, Futuh Mosque, in the town of Southfields in London. The mosque was opened in 1926 and was built through donations by Ahmadi Muslim women. The Futuh Mosque foundation stone was laid by the then Khalifa of the community, Hazrat Mirza Bashiruddin Mahmud Raziyallahu Ta'ala Anhu, Khalifatul Masih II. Through the blessings of Allah, the Futuh Mosque has been host to thousands of events since its creation. Due to the ever-progressive nature of the community and the rapid expansion in the number of Jamaat members, Futuh Mosque soon reached its peak capacity. The community began looking for a new site. After looking at various other sites, a suitable site in Morden was found. Khalifatul Masih IV launched a new appeal to fund the development of a new mosque in Morden on the 24th of February, 1995.
इस वक्त मैं 5 मिलियन की तहरीक जमात इंग्लिस्तान की मरकज़ी मस्जिद के लिए करता हूँ, इस दुआ और नीयत के साथ कि ये लाज़िमन इंग्लिस्तान की वसी तरीन मस्जिद हो। इबादतों की गुंजाइश पर जोर होना चाहिए। जो 7 मुल्क इमारतें हैं या दूसरे नखरे हैं, उनको बेशक नज़रअंदाज कर दें।
The site was originally a milk processing factory that had been abandoned. Owned formerly by Express Dairy, the site served as a distribution center. Large trucks would arrive with milk from farms that would be bottled inside the factory and then sent off to customers all over the southeast of England. The 5.2-acre site originally also featured a rail line with sidings for the delivery of milk. The factory was abandoned in 1992 and had been serving as an eyesore for the growing community of Morden. The site was inspected by Khalifatul Masih IV and the late national president of the community, Mr. Aftab Khan, prior to purchase. The site was purchased on the 29th of March, 1996, under the blessings of Khalifatul Masih IV. The site underwent extensive redesign for the mosque section itself, with a new structure being put in place, whilst other areas of the site, such as the various halls and one of the minarets, using the old structure of the factory, and were adapted to the new design of the complex. The foundation stone for the mosque was laid by Hazrat Mirza Tahir Ahmad, Rahmullah Alayh, Khalifatul Masih IV, on the 19th of October 1999. The complex was inaugurated by Khalifatul Masih V on the 3rd of October 2003.
जुमा के खुतबे के साथ इस मस्जिद का जिसका नाम तो खलीफतुल मसीह राबे रहमतुल्लाह ताला ने बैतुल फतूह रखा था, इफ्तिताह किया जा रहा है। अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह। इसकी मुख्तसर थोड़ी सी तारीख़ मैं बता देता हूँ। 1995 में हज़रत खलीफतुल मसीह राबे रहमतुल्लाह ताला ने तहरीक फरमाई थी और इब्तिदा में जमात अहमदिया आलमगीर को ये तहरीक की थी कि इस मस्जिद के लिए 5 मिलियन पाउंड इकट्ठे किए जाएं। Firstly, thank you to all our honorable guests who have accepted our invitation and came here this evening to attend the opening of the Beautiful Mosque. A true Muslim can never raise his voice in hatred against his fellow citizens, nor, for that matter, against the ruling authority or government of the time. The founder of the Ahmadiyya Muslim community, Hazrat Mirza Ghulam Ahmad, the promised Messiah, alayhi salam, on whom be peace, states, a true Muslim who is aware of the teachings of his faith will always remain sincere and obedient to the government under whose benign shadow he lives his life in peace.
Since the inauguration, the site has become a pinnacle of the Jamaat. It has played host to over thousands of Ahmadi and non-Ahmadi events, serving both the Jamaat and the local community. The mosque is Britain's biggest, whilst also being the largest mosque in Western Europe. Since its inauguration, it has been part of the Open House London campaign and has been recognised by Spectator magazine as one of the top 50 buildings in the world, and by the Independent newspaper as one of the 50 best modern religious buildings in the world. An integral part of the London skyline, it is recognised for its unique architecture and historical significance. The complex has the capacity to house over 13,000 worshippers and is also home to the community's MTA International television station and to the Voice of Islam studios. Eid ceremonies, national peace conferences and thousands of other events have been held at the complex. On September 2015, a large fire ravaged through the complex.
The blaze was so intense the smoke could be seen 10 miles away. The site of London's largest mosque, the spiritual and cultural centre of the Ahmadiyya community in Europe, engulfed by flames.
See behind me those big black billowing smoke coming out of the Baitul Futuh Mosque. Now this is one of the biggest mosques in Western Europe.
The fire began in the kitchens of the Nasr Hall and spread to the Nur Hall and other offices, causing extensive damage to the administrative blocks. Over 80 firefighters from the London Fire Brigade were on site to tackle the blaze.
Like I said, the fire was contained literally with the area within Nasr Hall and the adjacent offices. Damage definitely has been done there, but the rest of the complex, alhamdulillah, is safe.
We used an aerial appliance to pour water onto the fire and within quite a short time managed to prevent the fire escalating. We worked with the construction of the building to ensure that in the end only a third of the building was affected, a third of the ancillary building was affected. So from our perspective, working very closely with representatives from the mosque, managed to target the key parts of the building to ensure what was important to them was prioritised and saved, and that's been the outcome.
The fire was of such a large scale, it was being covered by national and international media outlets.
We tried to contain it. Our trained fire marshals tried to attend to the fire, quickly called the fire brigade that arrived within 5 minutes, and they've been on the scene actively trying to contain the fire ever since.
Whilst the local response to the fire was a show of great support, there were also those who expressed their joy in seeing a mosque aflame. The fire soon aroused those who wished to see the Jamaat's efforts perish. By the grace of Allah, no lives were harmed, and the fire was quickly contained before it could spread to the mosque. The fire caused extensive damage to the structure of the Nasir and Noor halls. Over 50% of the ground and first floor was lost due to structural damage, leading to a complicated demolition project over several months. Following the fire, Khalifatul Masih V reassured the community in his Friday sermon.
جیسا کہ میں نے بتایا پہلے بھی، یہاں مسجد کے متصل 2 ہالوں میں آگ کی وجہ سے بڑا نقصان ہوا، بڑی خوفناک آگ تھی۔ اس پر جب مختلف ٹی وی چینلز اور دوسرے میڈیا نے خبر دی ہے تو بعض بغض و کینہ میں بڑے ہوئے لوگوں نے بڑی خوشی کا اظہار کیا۔ ایک مثال میں نے پہلے بھی دی کہ اچھا ہوا یہ مسجد جل رہی ہے، بلکہ وہ تو یہ کہتے ہیں کہ یہ مسجد ہے ہی نہیں، یہ مسلمان، کیونکہ یہ مسلمان نہیں، اس لیے ان کا جو بھی عبادت کی جگہ ہے وہ جل رہی ہے۔ اور پھر جو افسوس کا بعد میں جب ان کو افسوس کا جس بات کا اظہار کیا ان لوگوں نے، پہلے تو خوشی منائی، پھر افسوس کا جو اظہار کیا وہ اس بات پر نہیں کہ کیوں حصہ جلا، بلکہ اس بات پر افسوس کیا کہ ان کے صرف 2 ہال جلیں، مسجد کیوں نہیں جلی۔ اس بات پر ہمیں بڑا افسوس ہے۔ تو یہ تو آج کل کے بعض مسلمانوں کا حال ہے۔ ٹھیک ہے، آج یہ سبحان اللہ استہزاء کے رنگ میں اور اللہ تعالیٰ کی غیرت بھڑکانے کے لیے پڑھ رہے ہیں تو پڑھیں، لیکن انشاءاللہ جلد ہی اس سے بہتر اور خوبصورت تعمیر کر کے ہم حقیقی سبحان اللہ پڑھیں گے اور ماشاءاللہ ہی پڑھیں گے۔
With the approval of Khalifatul Masih V, a new design by John McCaslin Partners has been made to regenerate and match the overall design aesthetic of the mosque. The new plan features an impressive front facade to match the modern design of the mosque whilst retaining our Islamic heritage, and is extended to 5 floors. The new design also adds an additional 1,100 square meters of space on top of the lost 4,700 square meters, bringing the new total area to an impressive 5,800 square meters. In his sermon on the 3rd of November 2017, Hazrat Mirza Masroor Ahmad, Khalifatul Masih V, may Allah be his helper, officially launched the Baitul Futuh Redevelopment Appeal.
اس کے بعد میں مختصراً ایک اور تاریخ بھی کرنا چاہتا ہوں جو UK کے لیے عمومی ہے اور دنیا کے مخیر حضرات جو ہیں جو صاحب حیثیت ہیں ان کے لیے، اور وہ ہے تقریباً 2 سال کا عرصہ تو گزر گیا، مسجد بیت الفتوح میں جب آگ لگی تھی کہ ایک حصے کو، اس جلے ہوئے حصے کی تعمیر نو کے لیے آج کل کچھ سالوں سے 1984 سے خلافت کے یہاں قیام کی وجہ سے دنیا سے افراد یہاں آتے ہیں، ان کی رہائش ہے، پھر مختلف فنکشنز ہوتے ہیں۔ اب تو دنیا کے ملکوں کے ذیلی تنظیموں کے بھی اور جماعتوں کے بھی بڑے بڑے وفود ویسے بھی سارا سال آتے رہتے ہیں، ان کی رہائش وغیرہ کا بھی مسئلہ رہتا ہے۔ مسجد کے ساتھ ملحق ہال اور کمرے ہوتے تھے پہلے، تو وہاں انتظام ہو جاتا تھا۔ جلنے کے بعد اب اس میں کافی تنگی پیدا ہو رہی ہے، اور اس کی تعمیر نو کا منصوبہ تو بنا لیا گیا ہے۔ وہ لوگ جن کو پہلے اس کی تعمیر میں حصہ لینے کا موقع نہیں ملا، انہیں تو ضرور کوشش کر کے حصہ لینا چاہیے، کیونکہ یہ UK جماعت کا منصوبہ ہے۔ اس لیے عمومی طور پر تو جیسا کہ میں نے کہا UK کے احمدیوں کا ہی کام ہے، جماعت کا ہی کام ہے، اس میں حصہ لینا چاہیے، اور باہر کی دنیا کے بھی مخیر احباب جو ہیں اس میں حصہ لیں، ذیلی تنظیموں کو بھی، ذیلی تنظیموں کی حیثیت سے، جماعتوں کو بھی، جماعتوں کی حیثیت سے بڑی بڑی جماعتیں جو ہیں حصہ لینا چاہیے، کیونکہ سارا سال ہی اب تو یہاں باہر سے مہمان آتے ہیں، اور UK جماعت ہر مہینے ان کی مہمان نوازی بھی کرتی ہے، بلکہ تعداد بلکہ اب تو ہزاروں میں ہو گئی ہے۔ حضرت مسیح علیہ السلام نے ایک موقع فرمایا کہ عالمگیر کے زمانے میں مسجد شاہی کو آگ لگ گئی، तो लोग दौड़े दौड़े बादशाह सलामत के पास पहुँचे और अर्ज़ की कि मस्जिद को तो आग लग गई। इस पर ख़बर को सुनकर बादशाह फ़ौरन सजदे में गिरा और शुक्र किया। हाशिया नशीनों ने तज्जुब से पूछा कि हुज़ूर सलामत, ये कौन सा वक्त शुक्रगुजारी का है कि खाना खुदा को आग लग गई है और मुसलमानों के दिलों को सख्त सदमा पहुँचा है। तो बादशाह ने कहा कि मैं मुद्दत से सोचता था और आहे सर्द भरता था कि इतनी बड़ी अजीम शान मस्जिद जो बनी है और इस इमारत के ज़रिए से हज़ार हा मखलूक़ात को फ़ायदा पहुँचता है, काश कोई ऐसी तजवीज़ होती कि इस कार खैर में कोई मेरा भी हिस्सा होता। लेकिन चारों तरफ से मैं इसको ऐसा मुकम्मल और बेनक्स देखता था कि मुझे कुछ सूझ ना सकता था इसमें मेरा सवाब किस तरह हो जाए। सो आज खुदा ताला ने मेरे वास्ते हसूल सवाब की एक राह निकाली है। वल्लाहु समीउन अलीम। बस जो पहले जैसा कि मैंने कहा इस कुर्बानी में हिस्सा नहीं ले सके, उन्हें ज़रूर हिस्सा लेना चाहिए। 3 साल के अरसे में अपनी रकम के वादे जो भी करें उनको पूरा करने की कोशिश करें, लेकिन कम से कम तीसरा हिस्सा पहले साल में ही ज़रूर अदा कर दें।
The new foundation stone was placed by Khalifa al-Masih V on the 4th of March 2018 in the stone laying ceremony. May Allah bless the Jamaat and help us in our task.
Jazakallah. This project is managed by the Redevelopment Committee appointed by Hazur Aqdas under the chairmanship of respected Amir Saab UK, for which I am fortunate to be a member of too. We have been working on this project since after the fire. A professional team of consultants was appointed to design the initial scheme, and following Hazur's approval, the design was progressed in order to engage a competent contractor, which we have as PDR Limited, who is now working on the project. We hold regular design team meetings and various other meetings with key statutory stakeholders in order to fulfill their design criteria. All key decisions are taken by the Redevelopment Committee. Let us pray that we remain the fortunate ones during this time, that we can leave behind another landmark and our generations can remember and cherish, which indeed is the house of victories for not just the UK Jamaat, but all other Jamaats around the globe. As from this pulpit of which the Khalifa addresses the world, this is the Futuh Mosque complex. Jazakallah.
Jazakallah for that inspiring presentation. We now have a guest speaker from the architects, the award-winning architects, John McCaslin, and I would invite Sophie Burgess, an architectural assistant, to come and speak. Sophie Burgess.
Good evening. My name's Sophie Burgess, and I'm working at the architects, John McCaslin and Partners. So John McCaslin and Partners is, as said previously, an award-winning architects, and we have worked both in the UK and internationally, winning awards both within the UK and abroad. We've also designed buildings in the Middle East, including several mosques, which I hope gives us some sort of inspiration for this project, and we can use these design influences on this building. So one project you may know us from is the King's Cross in London, in which we extensively redeveloped the site and is now ranked, it was ranked by passengers as one of the best stations in the UK. So I hope we can use all of our abilities from working all over the world and in award-winning projects to bring this community resource and reinvigorate the site and the building. So we've also worked closely with AMA to design a building which fulfills several of the functions. As seen in the video, it was formerly a dairy building, but I hope we've designed a building which we've designed from scratch, in which all the functions of the building work well for the uses. So also in the planning process, we were able to, working closely with the council and AMA, to help increase building footprint, which again will make it more useful and increase all the facilities used. So the footprint actually increased 20% larger than the building that was initially here. We've also helped redesign the building so it's highly functional. For example, the two main halls will be on the ground floor and the first floor, which will help improve circulation. Then there are offices above that, and finally accommodation further above that. This increases the privacy as you travel up the building, which will again increase the functionality of the site. Also, the external area will be improved for both cars and pedestrians, which will create a much more welcoming frontage. And the design of the building itself, we have worked closely to design a building which is both visually striking and kind of shows the purpose of the main building. The appearance of the building will create a sense of arrival, and it shows the function. The form's geometric and symmetrical, and shows a rationalization of the spaces, and influenced by the forms of traditional mosques. And this simple symmetry allows for a calm and refined building. There's a cultural influence also seen in the screens, that's inspired by Islamic art and architecture. It provides both visual interest and is also very practical, as it provides privacy for the rooms inside. There is also the materials of the building. We're using a limestone, which is influenced by the mosque that's already on site to help complement it, and bronze colours in the screens, which will really help to visually draw your eye to the building and just show the building to the community. The John McCaslin and Partners vision will help strengthen the use of the building by both the worshippers and the wider community, and we're very proud to help reinvigorate this very useful community resource. Thank you.
Thank you, Sophie. And I'm sure that all of you will agree that the design of the building is stunning, and once it's complete, we will be, as Azur said, among those who say Subhanallah and Mashallah. From design, and there's a scale model of Baitul Futuh here at the front as well. If you haven't had a chance to see, then do have a look at that. From design, we move to construction, and I now invite from PDR Construction, Steve Truman, who's the project manager, and Kelly Osawaru, the site engineer, to speak.
Assalamu alaikum. Firstly, I'd like to thank every single member of your community that I've engaged with since being on this site since September last year. You have made me and every single member of my team feel extremely welcome, and I thank you for that. From the warm greetings on the cold mornings from the security guards to the constant supply of delicious food from the chefs, I cannot fit in my suits anymore. My name is Steve Truman, and I'm the project manager for PDR Construction. Now, we are fortunate to have been appointed the great responsibility of delivering this truly magnificent and prestigious project for your community. The building will not only be a great asset to you, but it will also be a great asset for the area of Morden and the wider global community, and we are very fortunate to be a part of it. We're at the stages of the build where everything needs to be correct, checked and double-checked, as mistakes at this crucial phase can be devastating, not only to the completion date, but also to the longevity of the structure. While we do have a programme and a completion date to deliver this project to you, this project is not something that can be rushed, nor corners cut, nor are we the contractor who will take those measures. Quality, precision, aesthetics and longevity are driving this project. This building will be a landmark, a building of beauty, and more importantly, a place of worship. Delivering this project is not something I take lightly, and I would like to relay that to you, that I and my team understand how important this building is to you. We have a programme date for the main structure for the 11th of March, where you'll really start to see the building come together. This will be an enormous milestone for the build and also for yourselves, as you actually get to see the structure coming out of the ground. I have a good team behind me, and I want to thank you all for letting PDR be a part of this magnificent structure. Thank you. should introduce it. This is Kelly, he's a PDR site engineer.
Assalamu alaikum. My name is Kelly Osawaru. I'm the site engineer for PDR construction to execute the extension of this great, magnificent mosque. I'm delighted to be part of this great project to build an extension to Beautiful Mosque. Pardon me if I didn't pronounce it correctly. Knowing that this mosque is the biggest mosque in the Western Europe, we have started well in the delivery of this great edifice, the mosque. From the design, ground preparation, execution of the design, health and safety, and respect to the community. We're currently in a very stable stage, and we hope to keep it that way. Every stage is being checked. The work is carried out as per design, and we're delighted, and we're ready to complete it to the very best as per design. I want to use this opportunity to appreciate the President, Mr. Rafiq Hayes, and the Vice President. Thank you.
Thank you, Steve and Kelly, for your kind words. I would now like to invite Imam Ataul Mujib Rashid Sahib to come and say a few words. Imam Sahib, who is missionary in charge of the UK and Imam of the Fazl Mosque in London.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. In the name of Allah, the most gracious, ever merciful. The technical details about this redevelopment plan has already been presented to you. What I aim to do is to give you a little bit of religious background. I would like to say that this is a very huge and blessed project that Jamaat Ahmadiyya, the Muslim community, Ahmadiyya Muslim community, is going to achieve by the grace of Allah and with special prayers of the Supreme Head of the Ahmadiyya Muslim community, as we have just listened. I would like to say that the main purpose of this meeting is to create awareness and instill the importance of dedication and sacrifice for the cause of building the mosque and complex. I would like to remind everyone that in the very beginning of the Holy Quran, Allah Almighty has mentioned about righteous people. And Allah Almighty has mentioned that those are the righteous people, that they spend out of that which God has given them. So this basic point should be remembered by all, that everything that we possess, that is God-given. And if for a noble purpose, like the building of the mosque or the complex attached, that is just in gratefulness for all that God Almighty has given us. And then, if we spend in the way of Allah Almighty, this is a standing promise of God in the Holy Quran, that He is going to replace that, and not replace that if you spend, say, 10,000 pounds, He is going to give you 10,000. But Allah Almighty, the gracious, the merciful, is going to give you manifold, and there is no limit to that one. So that must be kept in mind. And the subject of sacrifice, monetary sacrifice, very recently, Hazrat Amirul Mu'mineen, the Supreme Head of the community, he mentioned that in the word sacrifice, there is a very fine point to be understood, that we have to make the payment for any noble cause at the cost of forgetting some of our own needs, feeling the pinch of that. If still we contribute for that one, that is really the sacrifice, and that is what is demanded and requested today. So far as the construction of mosque and the attachment is concerned, it's a very blessed project, as I mentioned. And everyone knows that there is a promise from the Holy Prophet of Islam that those people who are going to contribute for the building of the mosque, they are going to be granted a house in paradise. There are two promises therein. In the hereafter, these people will not be homeless. The house will be granted to them, and the location of that house would be paradise. So what can one expect more than that? There are so many examples in our community when such appeals are made. I remember once a young man in such a meeting, he came forward and he presented an envelope unopened. He said, "This is my monthly pay, and I pay the whole lot for the building of the mosque." Another young man came forward and he said that I'm going to get married within a couple of days. And in order to celebrate my marriage, I have reserved 500 pounds, which all of it I present to the community to be used for the building of the mosque. And one of the glorious example, which most of you must have heard before, but it's a great encouragement for us to remember on this day, is the example of Hazrat Chaudhry Muhammad Zafrullah Khan Sahib. In 1967, or slightly before that, when the community was in need of building a very big complex along with the Fazal Mosque London, the community needed 100,000 pounds at that time, but the community did not have money. So we don't borrow the loans from the banks. Chaudhry Sahib was approached, "Can you give us a loan which the community is going to repay?" So an agreement was chalked out, given to him. He said, "I will have a look before signing it." Next day in the morning, he came out and he said, "I have thought the whole night, and my inner voice of my heart and soul was that you are what you are today only because of the community. Are you going to be so low today that you are ready to give a loan to the Jamaat, to the community, which the Jamaat will repay you? It's a shame for you." So Chaudhry Sahib said, "I was so much ashamed by this self-analysis that he tore out the paper of the document. And he said, 'Here is a check for 100,000 pounds to cover the full cost of the building which the Jamaat wants to make.'" So these are the examples, and this is the spirit that we have to keep in mind while we make our promises today. May God enable us to accomplish the task, and may God bless all those who spend very generously in this very noble project. May God help us.
Jazakallah, Imam Sahib. And I would now like to invite respected Amir Sahib, Rafiq Hayat Sahib, to give the concluding address for this evening.
أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدًا عبده ورسوله أما بعد فأعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. My most respected colleagues, our special visitors this evening, John McCaslin Architects and PDR, and all the participants, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. May peace and blessings of Allah be upon you. It is indeed a very important evening this evening, because I think we are all involved in the making of history. And we have, in the UK, been very fortunate that since Khilafat came to this country, I have mentioned many times that the first Jalsa Salana that took place in Mahmud Hall, people would not even believe that. Mahmood Hall, as you know, Masjid Fazal accommodates 300 to maximum 400 people. And the final day of when Hazur addressed the Jamaat, it took place in a community center in Surbiton, and there we had 1,500 men and 1,500 ladies. But since then, we have seen by the grace of Allah the blessings of Khilafat, that a small Jamaat has blossomed into a big tree. And alhamdulillah, now we have 136 branches in the UK. We have many purpose-built mosques, and every day we are adding more and more properties to our portfolio. And this is purely the blessings of Khilafat and the prayers of Khalifatul Masih, and of course the sacrifices made by the members of the Jamaat. I remember when Boris Johnson came to visit us here on One Peace Conference, he asked Hazur Aqdas, so where did the money come from to build this beautiful mosque? And Hazur said it came from these very few people that we have here. And he couldn't believe it because, as you know, that most of the mosques that build around the world, they're either financed by Saudi Arabia or some big government. And for them to believe that a few hundred people or a few thousand people in the UK were able to build the largest mosque in Europe astounded him. And this is the true blessing of Khilafat. Now, I think if I just briefly touch on the history of this particular site, for those of you who may not have been here, or some of them were not in the UK at that time, when the community was growing, it was felt by Hazrat Khalid Masih Rabi Rahimahullah that we needed a center where the Jamaat could build a major project, a major mosque. And I remember we looked throughout the south of the UK and had identified various sites, but eventually this site came and we were able to acquire this site in 1996, on the 23rd of March 1996. And we acquired it for 2.23 million. And this was a 5.2 acre site where we had the old United Dairy bottling plant. And there were quite a few dilapidated buildings, but the main structure was there. Unfortunately, it was the one that actually burned down. That was the most solid part of the building that we acquired. Then Hazur Aqdas launched an appeal for building a mosque on this site. And you saw in the earlier video, Hazur Aqdas asked the community to contribute £5 million to build the initial mosque. So the foundation ceremony took place on the 19th of October 1999, and it took 4 years to actually the project to complete. And on the 13th of October 2003, Hazrat Khalifatul Khamis Ayatollah bin Aziz inaugurated this mosque. Now, some of you may remember that at that stage, the media gave us worldwide publicity because it was the largest mosque built in Europe. And I remember one of the journalists from the Times, she got hold of me and said that I live nearby, I go past this mosque every day and I've seen the construction. Why is it that you're trying to hide it from everybody? Why don't you talk about it? Because it's a beautiful project that you're doing. So eventually, when the project was complete, she, amongst many other journalists, wrote beautifully about this mosque. And as was mentioned earlier, the mosque was, I think in the independent newspaper, was considered as one of the top 50 modern buildings of the world. Then came the fire, and unfortunately, we lost part of the structure, the original structure. And it was a very sad day, I remember. We were all very distraught. And when I spoke to Hazrat Futuh, immediately there was such calmness in his voice, and he immediately gave comfort by saying, "Do not worry, inshallah, Allah will give us something even better." And those words even resonate with me even today, because when I see the design that has been created, you can see that that is going to inspire many, many generations to come in perhaps hundreds of thousands of years. So, reason why I say that this is a very important event today, because it's the first formal event that we are holding to raise funding for this particular project. Although Hazrat Aqdas launched, if you saw in the video earlier, Hazrat Aqdas launched the appeal, and by the grace of Allah, the Jamaat has already started giving funds for the construction. But in order for us to complete the project, we will require more funds, and I will be able to go through some of the figures with you this evening. So the first slide, you can see that we had insurance claim, which gave us £6 million, of which 1.2 million was required to do the post. We had to organize offices and reinstate everything that had been destroyed in the fire, and also the demolition. All of that came to 1.28 million. And since Hazrat Aqdas launched the appeal, the UK Jamaat collections have been 2.1 million, and the auxiliary organizations have collected about £800,000. So total income so far is 7.75 million. Now, if you look at the construction, the way we have organized the construction is that we're doing a two-phase construction, or maybe even three-phase. The first is shell and core, and this is going to cost us about 7.2 million, and that is something that the contractor has already agreed and signed with us. I think there's some parts of the phase two which is going to go back into phase one as well. So approximately 7.2 to 7.5 million pounds is already started with the phase one project. And this project, or the whole of the project, is going to take us 2 years. So this project, probably the first shell and core, will probably be another year before we come to the end of the first phase of this project. Then, with the total construction that has been projected, the total construction costs are projected at this moment at 12.5 million, and with professional fees, the total project cost is going to be about 13.2 million. So if we look at the final slide, if anyone looks at the detail of how these figures are made up, you're most welcome to come and speak to the finance secretary, and he'll be able to give you some of the information. So the final slide, you will see that we have net income so far of 7.7, approximately 8 million. There's a project cost of 13 million, so about 5.5 million is what we still have to raise in order to complete this project successfully. And today is part of that process, and inshallah, this fundraising will go from region to region, but inshallah we'll be setting the standard today. And I'm very hopeful that people who are here will open their hearts with great generosity, because some of you may have been here when we first started the project on the mosque itself. At that time, like today, a committee was formed, and on the first fundraising function, we invited 200 people. And some of you may have attended that function as well. And when I asked the committee, how much money do you think we can raise on the night? Most of the people were of the opinion that if we got 100 or 200,000 pounds, we would be doing very well. But I said to them, no, we have to raise at least £500,000 on that night. By the grace of Allah, you came, and not only did you pledge £550,000 on the night, but within 2 weeks, that figure had gone up to £750,000. Now, there are a lot of stories that I can tell you about how people came and gave. I will just mention a couple of stories. I remember one person came to me who was well known to me, and he told me that he'd been collecting money to put a deposit on the house. And when Hazur Aqdas made the appeal, he said that he had decided that he was going to give half of everything that he had collected towards the mosque fund. It had taken him 5 years to get there. So I knew he had 4 children, and I asked him to think again, because this was a very big decision. He said, no, Mir Sahib, I've made the decision. Half of everything I've collected is being given to the mosque fund. And then, as Imam Sahib had mentioned, there were people who said, this is our first salary, we bought everything. There were children who had taken their money boxes and bought them and gave it to us on the evening. Now, 6 months later, we needed another £500,000 urgently. So I asked the committee to invite the same 200 people again. And they looked at me as if I was mad, because they said, Amir Sahib, we've taken everything from them. Where is the money going to come from? I said, call them again, because I know our Jamaat is so generous that inshallah you will see that those people will come and give the same money again. So when they were called again, they came on, and by the time we went for Maghrib Namaz, I was told that they had pledged £350,000, and we desperately needed £500,000. So I prayed to Allah that we needed the £500,000, and when we got back, I was told the £500,000 is there. To this day, I have never tried to find out how it happened. It was Allah's will, and Allah blessed those people who came there, and they generously opened their hearts and gave money. Now, the person who had given me half of the money for his house came again, and he gave me another check. And I said to him, hold on a second, what happened about the house? He said, Amir Sahib, I've got my house, and I've still got money to give to you. This is how Allah works. Now, I once was telling this story. I was meeting in somebody's house. I mentioned this story. And there was this young man, Asif Ashraf Sahib. He was sitting there and he said, yes, Amir Sahib, I remember. I was at that meeting. And he said that I had been trying to buy a house on a particular street. And every time I put a deposit down on a house, it was gazumped. Somebody came and made a higher offer and took the house away. He said, on that night, I decided to give a substantial amount of my deposit to the mosque. He said, the very following week, a larger house came on the same street, and I made a lesser offer by the same amount that I paid to the mosque fund, and I got the house, and by the grace of Allah, I'm living in the house today. So Allah immediately returned everything he had done for the mosque to him, and even more. Now I can tell you, when I first came to this country, we came with absolutely nothing. You know, we were in Africa, and we came here with nothing. And I remember I used to do a Saturday job And I used to do a paper round in the mornings and do a Saturday job to earn my pocket money. And by the grace of Allah, I always maintained, and my father wanted us to be connected to the mosque all the time. So we spend most of our time in the mosque. And by the grace of Allah today, there is nothing that I don't have. But it is only because of the sacrifices that our parents made on our behalf that today we are enjoying that success. So anything that you do in the way of Allah, Allah will return it not only directly for you, but many generations to come will benefit from the sacrifices they're going to make tonight. So my request to all of you is, please open up your hearts. This is the time to make a difference. When you build Allah's house here, Allah will build the house for you in the hereafter. And any contract that you make with Allah the Almighty, He returns it many folds. And one last thing I would like to say, that when you give, just have this thought. And last time I mentioned this, and I'll mention it again, that if you have £300 cash in your hand and somebody wants that £300, it seems a lot of money. And to give £300 is a lot of money. But we cannot build such mosques with £300. Last time when we built the mosque, to give an indication of the level of sacrifice that was required, we were asking £10,000 per family. And this time again, Zuri Aqdas has approved that those families or individuals who give £10,000, their name will go on a plaque that we'll put in the mosque. But those people who can afford to pay more, I would urge them to see if they can pay a lot more than that. Because by the grace of Allah, Allah has blessed a number of our people here who have the ability to pay a lot more. And remember one thing, that when you're giving in the way of Allah, it shouldn't be just loose change that you're giving, but give to the degree when it actually hurts your pocket. It's only when it hurts your pocket that you know that you've made a sacrifice. But just giving a few thousand here and there is not when you're really making the sacrifice. So please dig deep into your pockets. Today, the target that we have set is £2 million. So it is from you that we are hoping that inshallah you will be able to fulfill our promise for tonight. My prayer is that may Allah bless you and enable you to fulfill this promise for tonight. May Allah bless you all. Before we finish, I'm going to ask Sultan Lone Sahib to please come and tell you what arrangements have been made in terms of how you pledge and how you can make your payment for this evening. Jazakallah. Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum rahmatullah. Jazakallah, respected Mesa. In addition to the numbers that Amir Sahib obviously showed you, just to give you an update for the night, respected Amir Sahib, already by the grace of Allah, we have obtained promises of £365,000 and on the night donations of £105,000, so almost £470,000 within the last couple of hours by the grace of God. In regards to our mosque donations and the ways to pay, within Tyre Hall, we have the facilities that the finance desks have been established. And as you can see to my right in the men's hall, we have the Chanda.org team. On the online facilities are there for those members that wish to pay by debit and credit cards are able to do so securely. In addition, we have the card payment facility open for members to also come and donate there quite securely. And on the ladies' side, we have also established an online facility where you're able to donate. and also to pay to the representatives at the Lagina finance desks. In addition, this event is actually being streamed live via YouTube. So those members or those donors that wish to contribute remotely are able to do so directly, securely via chanda.org.uk. Or additionally, looking at the telephone lines, if you're within the UK, you can dial 0333 880 4710, and we have dedicated telephone operators waiting for those calls to come in from the UK. And if you're calling from outside the UK, please add +44. I humbly request you to remember the finance team in your prayers, and may Allah open up everyone's hearts. Jazakallah.
Jazakallah, Amir Saab and Sultan Saab. Before we conclude, there's an opportunity for anybody to ask any questions they may have about the redevelopment or about donations. So I believe there'll be a roving microphone. So if anybody has any questions to ask, if they would raise their hands, and the microphone will be brought to you.
And that includes the ladies as well. If they have any questions, they can ask as well.
Yes.
Please raise your hand if anyone has anything that they'd like to ask, please.
And actually, with apologies, we actually did leave donation and promise envelopes on everyone's chairs and your tables. And feel free to obviously populate them as you see fit. And our members, led by Nasser Saab and the team on the side, will only be quite happy to come and collect them. If you wish to donate from where you're actually sitting, we are providing a secure facility via tablets to also donate via chanda.org.uk. So just please inform us and we'll come to your table directly. Jazakallah.
So there's one question at the back there.
Yeah, Assalamu alaikum. The question is about when are you planning to finish the project?
Yes. As I mentioned earlier, the project is a 2-year project. And therefore, I think I don't have the exact date here with me. I don't know if Steve has... in March 2020 is what our target date is.
Jazakallah. There's one at the front, here, in the middle.
Assalamu alaikum, Mir Sahib. I've got 2 questions really. I'll get the technical one out of the way first, if Sultan's still around. So the promised amount, should that include the previous promise that we've got with our local Jamaats?
No, I think tonight's, anything that you've already pledged, please don't include that. Tonight is going to be purely for tonight's promises.
Okay.
So anything that you've already pledged before, please do not include them on the promises of this function. Okay?
Okay.
What we are hoping that is over and above that anything that you've already previously promised.
The second question had to do with since the opening of the Bact gate, a large number of members, the community who live on that side of Morden, have been able to walk to the mosque quite freely. I know quite a number of them express the desire to be able to cycle to the mosque. When the construction is finished, would we be able to have cycle racks installed both on the back for those members who can enter from there and at the front? In fact, could the cycle racks go in sooner so that members can start using them as soon as possible?
Sure. I think this is now part of the planning requirement as well. So yes, I can confirm that there will be cycle racks for those people who wish to use it.
Jazakallah.
Anybody from the ladies' side, any questions? So whilst we are waiting, you can please fill in your forms. Somebody will be coming round to your tables to take the forms from you. And also, they will be coming to see how you wish to pay. So please, if you would like to do that whilst we're waiting.
Assalamu alaikum, Mir Sahib.
Jiwa Sam.
Will there be more provision for parking in the new plans?
I know, firstly, I'd like to apologize to those members who came this evening and found it difficult because of the lack of parking on site, that they were not able to get parking on site. And I know some of the people, unfortunately, had to go and find other parking elsewhere. We apologize for that. When the site is complete, of course, a lot of the cabins and structures that are on the site at this moment will all be cleared, and all of the back will provide full parking. At the moment, maximum, because remember we have a marquee as well, because the functions that we're holding at the moment have to be held in the marquee, and that is eating up a lot of the space that would have been previously used for parking. So inshallah, I'm confident that when all of the obstacles are removed, we should have parking in excess of about 250 to almost 300 cars on site. But apart from that, we're also, for larger functions, on a day-to-day basis, that is ample space. But on larger functions, it becomes a bit more difficult, especially because this site has become so busy that now sometimes we have 3 functions going on simultaneously. And I often say that before the hall was burnt, I remember that the Jalsa previous to that, in 3 weeks, I attended 42 weddings here. And on one day, I was attending 3 weddings because there were weddings taking place in this hall, in Nasser Hall, and also in Noor Hall. And I remember one day I was going back after having attended 2 weddings, and I got a call on way saying, "Where are you, Mesa? We're waiting for you to come and lead us in prayer for the 3rd wedding." So you can see how active this center becomes. And now, today, by the grace of Allah, we have delegations from abroad. Lagina has come from the north. We have a team, I think from Switzerland or somewhere, who are also here. And last weekend we had 2 major delegations, one from Canada and one from Germany. And this is an ongoing thing. Next weekend I think there's a big delegation coming from Ireland. So this whole thing is going to increase many folds. So the capacity that we have in these halls is going to be fully utilized. And on that basis, we are speaking to the local authority to see if we can have some permanent arrangement on the fields across the road to get additional parking there on a permanent basis. So please pray for that. Any other questions? Lagina side? Any questions on the men's side? Okay, I think then if everyone is happy with the information that they've received, it really just leaves me to thank everyone who's come today. Our prayers are with you. May Allah bless you. May Allah bless your children and many generations to come. Remember one thing, that London Mosque was built by ladies in India. And now 4 Khulafa have come and led prayers in this mosque. So the hundreds and thousands of people who come and pray in Masjid Fazal every day, every one of them are sending blessings on those women who are responsible for building that mosque. And as Imam Sahib mentioned, there's Hazrat Chaudhry Zafrullah Khan Sahib. And for those of members who do not know Chaudhry Zafrullah Khan Sahib, we have some guests here. Chaudhry Sahib was the first foreign minister of Pakistan. Then he became the president of the International Court at Hague. And he was also chaired the United Nations. So he was a very major personality within the community. And his sacrifices are well known to our community here and worldwide. And he was responsible for the 100% construction cost of the Mahmood Hall and the complex that was built there, which again we have enjoyed over many years. So we should pray for him in particular on this occasion for the sacrifices that he made during his lifetime. So inshallah, I'm very hopeful that today you will open your hearts and give generously for this very noble project. One thing I can tell you is that this is going to be one of the most prominent buildings in London now, once this structure is built. And we will have worldwide publicity, just like we had with Baitul Futuh when this is completed. And it is, the local authority is so impressed with this that they did not even send this to the planning committee. They actually approved the planning under delegated powers. But those people who work in this field will understand what that means. And during the review, they had a review panel of architects, 12 architects, who reviewed this particular work. And they were so impressed with the work that Jammu Kashmir architects have done that they approved it immediately. And therefore, this is going to be a truly blessed project. Huzur-e Aqdas has been personally involved throughout the whole process, and he personally reviewed the plans at every stage, and he gave input at every stage of the planning development. So inshallah, you will see that once this is finished, it is something that we will all be very, very proud of, and is something that many generations to come will be very proud of. I've been mentioned that we need to clarify the duration of the promises. Obviously, as quickly as you can give is obviously better. But as you heard, that our project is going to go on until March 2020. So we would like the promises to be fulfilled before that date, please. Huzur-e Aqdas, when he originally launched the scheme, he said 3 years. So I think since then, probably a year has passed. So we've got 2 more years for you to fulfill the promises that you make today. So, anything else? Anyone from the top table like to say anything? Baja Sahib? Baja Sahib, if you'd like to say something. Okay. Baja Sahib. Yes, of course. Baja Sahib kuch keh rahe hain.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I am asked to say a few words in Urdu language, so inshallah I will try to say something. उन्नीस 1903 में हज़रत मसीह मऊद अलैहिस्सलाम ने फरमाया कि रसूल पाक सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम ने पेशगोई फरमाई कि मसीह मऊद एक सफ़ेद मीनार के पास उतरेगा। तो इस पेशगोई को पूरा करने के लिए ज़ाहरी तौर पर, अगरचे उसके बहुत से माने हैं, लेकिन आपने फरमाया एक सिंबल के तौर पर एक मीनार हमें बनाना चाहिए। और आपने इसके लिए एक बहुत बड़ा इश्तिहार दिया, कई सफ़ात थे उस इश्तिहार के। और कहा कि इस वक्त सिर्फ हमें 10,000 रुपए की ज़रूरत है उस मीनार के बनाने के लिए। 10,000 रुपया, पाउंडों में उसको तब्दील करने में कुछ भी नहीं रकम बनती। और उस वक्त जमात की हालत ये थी कि बहुत कोशिश की गई, लेकिन वो मीनार हज़रत मसीह मौऊद अलैहिस्सलाम की ज़िंदगी में मुकम्मल नहीं हो सका। यानी 1903 से लेकर 1908 तक 5 साल तो हज़रत मसीह मौऊद अलैहिस्सलाम जिंदा रहे। उसके बाद हज़रत खलीफतुल मसीह अव्वल रज़ियल्लाहु अन्हु का ज़माना आया, 2 سال حضور بھی خلیفہ رہے، اس میں بھی وہ مینار مکمل ہی ہوا، جس کے لیے صرف 10,000 روپے کی ضرورت تھی۔ پھر آگے حضرت خلیفۃ المسیح ثانی رضی اللہ تعالیٰ عنہ کا زمانہ آیا، آپ 1914 میں خلیفہ ہوئے، پھر بھی 2 سال اور لگے، اور 1916 میں جا کے وہ صرف ایک مینار جماعت احمدیہ کو بنانے کی توفیق ملی۔ تو یہ وہ جماعت تھی جس کی بنیاد خدا نے رکھی، اور حضرت مسیح موعود سامنے فرمایا کہ ایک زمانہ آئے گا کہ دنیا میں سب سے بڑی جماعت یہی ہوگی، اور اسلام کا جب نام لیا جائے گا تو یہی جماعت ہوگی۔ اور آج آپ دیکھیں واقعی کیا یہ بات سچ نہیں ہے؟ آج بڑے فخر کے ساتھ اللہ کے فضل و کرم سے ہم کہتے ہیں کہ ویسٹرن یورپ کی سب سے بڑی مسجد اللہ تعالیٰ نے جماعت احمدیہ کو بنانے کی توفیق عطا فرمائی ہے، جس کے اوپر شروع میں 15 ملین خرچ ہوئے، پھر اور یہ رقم بڑھتی گئی، اور ابھی پھر حضور نے جو اعلان فرمایا 11 ملین پاؤنڈ اور فرمایا کہ اس پہ خرچ ہوگا، اور ابھی آپ نے دیکھا ہے کہ کتنا اور خرچ ہو رہا ہے۔ لیکن اللہ کے فضل و کرم سے یہ کام ہوتے چلے جائیں گے۔ یہ تو ہم خوش قسمت ہیں، بہت ہی خوش قسمت ہیں، اور ہمیں اللہ کا بہت شکر ادا کرنا چاہیے کہ خدا نے ہمیں اس زمانے میں پیدا کیا، ورنہ یہ خدا کے کام کبھی رک سکتے ہیں کسی سے؟ اس لیے جس کو اللہ نے توفیق دی ہے، خدا کے اوپر توکل کرتے ہوئے جتنا بھی آپ دیں گے خدا اس سے بہت بڑھ کر آپ کو دے گا۔ ابھی جو شروع میں قرآن شریف کی آیت پڑھی گئی کہ خدا نے وعدہ کیا، اور خدا سے بڑھ کر تو کوئی سچے وعدہ آنے والا نہیں ہو سکتا، اور وہ وعدہ بھی قرآن مجید کے میں کیا، اور کیا محمد رسول اللہ صلی اللہ علیہ وسلم کے ذریعے۔ کیا یہ وعدہ غلط ہو سکتا ہے کہ اللہ نے فرمایا کہ تم 1 دو گے، خدا اس کو 700 گنا کر کے، اور اگر چاہے تو اس سے بھی بڑھ کر تمہیں دے گا۔ تو آپ اندازہ کر سکتے ہیں کہ جو بھی اس رستے میں قربانی کریں گے وہ کچھ دے نہیں رہے، وہ تو لینے کا انتظام کر رہے ہیں۔ یہ تو اللہ نے اپنے فضل سے یہ کہا ہے، ٹھیک ہے، ہم یہ نہیں کہتے کہ ہم اس لیے دے رہے ہیں کہ خدا ہمیں اور دے، نیت تو ہماری صرف یہ ہے کہ اے خدا تیرا بڑا احسان ہے کہ تم نے جو پہلے بھی دیا ہے، ہم تو اس کا شکر ادا کرنے کی کوشش کر رہے ہیں جتنی، اور وہ بھی کچھ زیادہ نہیں ہے۔ تو اس لیے مجھے ایک واقعہ کئی دفعہ میں نے پہلے بھی سنایا، ابھی بھی سنا دیتا ہوں۔ ایک احمدی دوست نے مجھے بتایا کہ وہ پاکستان میں تھے، تو ایک دفعہ انہیں خیال آیا کہ یہ جو اتنے بڑے لوگ چندے دیتے ہیں تو میں کیوں نہیں دے سکتا۔ وہ کہتے ہیں میں تو ایک معمولی سا آدمی تھا، میرا تو کوئی سوال ہی بات نہیں ہوتا کہ میں کوئی بڑا چندہ دوں، لیکن کہتے ہیں میرے دل میں آیا کہ یہ جو لوگ دیتے ہیں ان کو بھی تو خدا ہی دیتا، تو مجھے کیوں نہیں دے سکتا خدا۔ کہتے ہیں میں نے دفتر تحریک جدید میں چلا گیا اور ان سے پوچھا یہ بتائیں سارے ربا میں تحریک جدید میں سب سے زیادہ چندہ کس کا اور کتنا ہے؟ انہوں نے کہا جی فلاں صاحب کا ہے اور وہ 1 لاکھ روپیہ دیتے ہیں۔ اس زمانے میں 1 لاکھ روپے بہت بڑی رقم تھی۔ کہتے ہیں میں نے ان کو کہا کہ اچھا میرا آپ نا 1 لاکھ اور 100 روپیہ لکھ لیں میرا وعدہ، اور وہ میرے منہ کی طرف دیکھیں کہ یہ مذاق کر رہے۔ کہتے ہیں لکھا کے میں آگے اللہ کے حضور رونے لگ گیا۔ لیکن مسیح موعود نے فرمایا جو کچھ ہوگا دعا سے ہوگا۔ کیسا خوبصورت فکر ہے، جو کچھ ہوگا خدا دعا سے ہوگا۔ تو یہ ہمارے لوگ جو ہیں وہ دعا پر ایمان رکھتے ہیں، چنانچہ دعائیں شروع کر دی۔ اللہ نے دل میں ڈالا کہ ان نے جو مجھے بتایا وہ یہی تھا، کہہ رہے میرے دل میں ڈالا کہ کسی اسٹیٹ ایجنٹ کے پاس جاؤ، وہ دیکھو یہ کس طرح کام کرتے ہیں۔ کہتے میں ان کے پاس جانا شروع کر دیا، دیکھتا گیا ان کو، آخر میں نے بھی کام شروع کر دیا۔ اور کیا خدا کی شان کہ 1 سال کے اندر وہ کہتے ہیں اللہ کے فضل و کرم سے میں نے وہ 1 لاکھ روپیہ 1 لاکھ اور 100 روپیہ دے بھی دیا، اور اس کے بعد پھر اللہ نے جو ان کو نوازا ہے اب تو ان کا کوئی حساب ہی نہیں ہے۔ تو میرے بھائیوں اس راہ میں خرچ کرنے سے کوئی غریب نہیں ہو سکتا۔ مسیح موعود علیہ السلام بھی یہی فرماتے ہیں، اور آنظر صلی اللہ علیہ وسلم نے بھی یہی فرمایا ہے، بلکہ یہ تو لینے کا سودا ہے، اللہ تعالیٰ کے فضلوں کو حاصل کرنے کا سودا ہے۔ اور پھر سب سے بڑی بات جو ہے یہ تو مسجد کے لیے خرچ ہو رہا ہے، جہاں خدا کے بندوں نے اللہ کی عبادت کرنی ہے دن رات۔ تو جتنے لوگ جہاں نمازیں پڑھیں گے قیامت تک آپ کو اس کا ثواب پتہ چلا جائے گا۔ तो ये अल्लाह ताला हम सब को तौफीक अता फरमाए कि हम इस रास्ते में खुल कर खर्च करें और खुदा उसे कबूल फरमाए। सबसे बड़ी बात है आखिर में ये दुआ करनी चाहिए, रब्बाना तकब्बल मिन्ना इन्नका अंतस समीउल अलीम। ऐ अल्लाह तो अपने फजल और एहसान से इसे कबूल फरमा। आमीन अल्लाहुम्मा आमीन।
Jazakallah. You know, the generosity of our people is such that one member of our Jamaat just spoke to me. May Allah bless him and may Allah bless his family. And he is donating £100,000 this evening from his family. So this is the generosity that we are seeing. Inshallah, you will see that there will be lots of people here tonight. I have had lots of promises already. You can see even before we started, we were already up to about for almost £500,000. So I am very confident, inshallah, that when we go home tonight, we would have reached our targets, inshallah. So let's end with silent prayer. We have been told we are around 780 at this moment in time, but please keep, I'm sure that lots of you haven't given your envelopes yet. So inshallah, let's hope that you give generously and we reach our target tonight. So let's end with silent prayer, but please continue to give your promises. Join me in silent prayer, please. Ameen.
And naturally, we will not wish to disturb you in your dinner, but obviously, if you wish to see any of our representatives, just please request they will come over, but they will not be disturbing you now whilst you're eating your dinner. Enjoy.
I had a look and I was like, it looks really good.
Assalamu alaikum. Please continue to eat, but I just wanted to mention two things. One, I believe that we are reaching the £1 million mark, but please continue your promises. And also, one other thing that I think you should consider, that you should give on behalf of your deceased parents, where possible, because that also will bring you a lot of blessings. So those of you who can, and Allah has blessed you, please remember your deceased parents or elderly parents in your promises. Jazakallah.
If I can please request Majid Saab or Safta Saab from the Sami Basri team just to update the numbers for us live on the screen. Please. Yeah. Okay. And just for the clarification, there are some members of MISAB asking questions. The actual donation slip, which is on your table, very simply that those members that wish to make a promise and donate tonight, please ensure that your donation is with this envelope, so when the collection team arranges your immediate receipt, they're able to reconcile your promise versus your donation. So please do hand in the slip and the payment together. Put on the screen. He's doing it now. Majid's doing it now. He's doing it now. Majid. We're just refreshing the current data, Amir-Sab, for your benefit. And if you look on the screen, we have received total promises on £933,000, and total collected on the evening is £261,000, including the Lagina and the men together, so bringing a total of £1,194,000 at this stage.
अस्सलाम वालेकुम। ये पैगाम लजना के लिए है। देखिए, हम मस्जिद फजल में जाते हैं और ये मस्जिद जो है आप हमेशा जानते हैं कि ये इसमें बहुत बड़ा हिस्सा लजना ने इसमें हिस्सा लिया था। तो क्या आप नहीं चाहती कि ये जो आपकी यूके के अंदर सबसे बड़ी मस्जिद है उसके अंदर आपका भी नुमायां किरदार हो? उस मस्जिद फजल के लिए उन्होंने अपना जेवर वगैरह दिया। इस वक्त आपके लिए जेवर देने के लिए भी इंतज़ाम है। अगर आप जेवर देना चाहते हैं तो प्लीज़ बढ़ चढ़ कर एक दूसरे से जेवर आप अदा कर सकते हैं। मैं जानता हूँ कि लजना को जेवर बहुत पसंद होता है, लेकिन जो अल्लाह ताला के राह में आप खर्च करेंगी ये जेवर आपको उसका बहुत बड़ा सवाब मिलेगा।
ख़वातीन खामोशी से ज़रा सुने, अमीर साहब की हिदायत है कि शाह साहब जो बयान फरमा रहे हैं बड़ा ज़रूरी है। Ladies, please listen to what Shah Sahib is saying. Amir Sahib requests silence.
अस्सलाम वालेकुम रहमतुल्लाहि व बरकातहू। मैं कह रहा था कि जब ये मस्जिद फजल बनी थी उस वक़्त लजना ने इसमें बढ़ चढ़ कर हिस्सा लिया था और आज उस मस्जिद के अंदर 4 खलफा जो हैं उन्होंने वहाँ पे जाके नमाज अदा की है या अभी अदा कर रहे हैं। और हम जब भी जाते हैं हमेशा उन लजना को याद करते हैं अपनी दुआओं में। अल्लाह ताला उनको उनके दर्जात बुलंद करे। अगर आज हम कई सालों के बाद उनकी याद ताज़ करते हैं तो आपको पता लग सकता है कि उनके दर्जात कितने बुलंद हो रहे होंगे इस वक्त भी। इस वक्त अगर आप चाहती हैं कि आपके बच्चे और आइंदा नस्लें जो हैं यहाँ पे आने वाली हैं वो हमेशा आपको दुआ में याद रखें तो आप भी इसके अंदर बढ़ चढ़ कर हिस्सा लें। जेवर वगैरह जो है आप दे सकते हैं घर में रखने के लिए, क्या फ़ायदा है। प्लीज़ इसे बढ़ चढ़ कर इसके अंदर हिस्सा लें। घर में कोई भी किसी वक्त भी आपके कोई डाका डुका हो सकता है, अल्लाह ताला की राह में खर्च कर दें, अल्लाह ताला आपको हमेशा इससे भी ज़्यादा माल देगा। इसलिए बढ़ चढ़ कर इसमें हिस्सा लें। अमूमन जब भी तारीख की जाती है तो हज़रत अबू बकर सिद्दीक़ का नाम लिया जाता है। हज़रत अबू बकर सिद्दीक़ वो आदमी थे जब एक ग़ज़वा के लिए आन सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम ने तारीख की तो हज़रत उमर कहते हैं कि हम हमेशा यही सोचते थे एक दूसरे के साथ कि हमेशा जब भी मैं काम करना चाहता हूँ हज़रत अबू बकर मुझसे बढ़ जाते हैं। तो इस दफ़ा जब उन्होंने अपना आधा माल लेकर हज़रत सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम के सामने आए तो आपने पूछा आप क्या लेकर आए हैं। उस वक़्त हज़रत अबू बकर सिद्दीक़ पहले पहुँचे हुए थे और उन्होंने कहा कि मैं सब कुछ ले आए हूँ। हज़रत मसीह मौऊद अलैहिस्सलाम कहते हैं कि उस वक़्त उन्होंने सब कुछ घर के अंदर एक सुई तक भी नहीं छोड़ा था। तो ये कुर्बानी की राह होती है। प्लीज़ इसलिए आप बढ़ चढ़ कर हिस्सा लें। मर्दों से भी बढ़कर आपको हिस्सा लेना चाहिए ताकि बैतुल फतूह मस्जिद भी है जो आपके नाम पे हो। मैं फिर से आपसे दरख्वास्त करता हूँ कि प्लीज़ बढ़ चढ़ कर इसके अंदर हिस्सा लें। ज़ेवरात वगैरह आप पेश कर सकती हैं और इसका आपको बहुत बड़ा सवाब होगा। जज़ाकल्लाह खैर।
Just for the benefit on the Lagina side, to be clear, the envelopes, can you please ensure the finance team on the Lagina side do collect the envelopes as soon as possible so we can collate the promises and the actuals, and on the jewelry donations. Jazakumullah.
You did them proud.
That's great. I'm glad. Do you like it?
I'm sure the cousins will be very happy.
Yeah. Well, thanks for inviting me.
Not
It's
at
been
all.
a
I'm so
fantastic evening. Yeah, I'm glad I could help.
Thank you. Well, look at we've got the thing we were aiming for.
Yeah, that's
We said we'd go for a million today, didn't we?
Absolutely fantastic.
We're going to throw a few more of these in. Let's start with this.
Freeze up. Freeze.
Hello, Steve. How are you? You good, guys?
That was amazing. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Next month, we get the peace conference. Peace conference next month. Peace conference. I'll give you the invitation. Jim is there.
Assalamu alaikum everyone. There is the special Kashmiri tea for you as well. So please have that before you go. Jazakallah.
No, this is not above and below. हाँ, that's not brown वाला, cream वाला. वो जो yellow jacket है ना, it's out for it. Maybe वही है. अच्छा. Assalamu alaikum rahmatullah. Just for the benefit of our live streaming viewers via YouTube, I'd just like to express that the donation lines are still actually open, and for the benefit of via YouTube, we've now, alhamdulillah, breached the 1.4 million mark, but members can pay via janda.org.uk and also send their promises in via email to the finance office at amdiauk.org if should they wish to add any promises, and the total promises are 1,108,000 and collected on the evening just shy of 300,000. So those watching via live streaming are able to donate securely via janda.org.uk. Jazakallah.